under the chairmanship of the SS Kohli working group. Under the chairmanship of SS Kohli working group, the definition was given by the working group by SS Kohli. And further, what does definition identifies? That if the obligation is on the related to the payment and for the repayment of the loan is there on the borrower, but willfully they do not repay the loan back, even though they are having the capacity to honor the transaction, but still they do not pay the amount back, in that case it is said to be willful default. And also if the loan amount was sanctioned for some particular purpose, if the loan amount was sanctioned for some particular purpose, but the loan amounts sanctioned were basically those were diverted, there was diversion of funds. Let us take the case that the loan was sanctioned for the CC limit, but the loan was used for the purchase of some asset. Let us take the case that the loan amount was used for purchase of machinery. That is basically related to what? That is also related to diversion of funds. It may also be the case that the funds have been used so as to invest into the different markets under the different subsidiaries. In that case, it is also related to diversion and siphoning of funds, and that also amounts to the willful default. And it may also be the case where the assets so financed have been disposed of. Those have been disposed of without the consent of the bank. Without the consent of the bank, that will also amount to the willful default. That will also amount to the willful default. Now there is cutoff limit related to the willful default, where the outstanding balances are 25 lakh rupees or above them. In that case, the penal measures would be applicable. The penal measures would be applicable. And what are the penal measures? First of all, no additional facility will be sanctioned by any of the bank and financial institution for the next 5 years from the date of the name of the willful defaulter appears published under the list by the Reserve Bank of India willful defaulters. Under the RBI defaulter list, if the name is mentioned over there, in that particular case, no additional facility will be sanctioned by any of the bank and financial institution. That is the first penal measure. And second, it is related to that the lending institutions shall be formulating a policy with the approval of the board of directors, and further they can set a criteria by virtue of which they can take a decision so as to publish the photographs of the willful defaulters on their website, and further can publish the photos in their branches itself with the permission of the board of directors. But there should not be any discrimination. It should not be the case that you are not basically publishing the photos of your near ones and dear ones and you're publishing the photographs of the others. So there should be no discriminatory and no inconsistency. Is that clear? That is related to the theory part. Now let us have a look at the questions based upon it. First of all, it says the rate of provision on standard loans is given correctly in which of the following? The rate of provision on standard loans is given correctly in which of the following? So kindly please do answer at the earliest. Option 8 says agriculture loans 0.25%, MSc loans 0.25%, on other loans which are not specified 0.40%. Option D, all of the above. So I told you already that even in the case of the standard loans, the provision is to be created. And further, what would be the right answer over here? Kindly please do answer at the earliest. So the right answer over here is option D, that all of the above. We already know that in the case of the agriculture loans, it is 0.25%, and also in the case of the MSc loans, it is 0.25%, and in the case of all the other loans which are not specified, it is 0.4%. So option D over here is the right answer. So Ravi Nana Bala has answered correctly at the earliest. Second question, it says that in case of unsecured substandard loans, to make the provision which of the following is not stated correctly? So rate of provision is 25%. Rate of provision for infrastructure based accounts is 20%. To calculate the provision, the balance will be bifurcated into secured balance and unsecured balance. And option D, that one rate of provision will be used for the entire balance. So which of the following would be the right answer in the case of question number 2? So we are talking about the unsecured substandard assets. For the secured substandard asset, the provision is 15%. For the unsecured part, it is 20% for the infrastructure loans and 25% for the others. That makes option A and B correct. But for the option C over here, it says to calculate the provision, the balance is to be bifurcated into secure balance and unsecured balance. It is to be bifurcated into secured balance and unsecured balance, which is not correct. which is not correct, because in the case of the substandard assets, the provision is to be will be used for the provision rate will be used for the entire balances. It will be used for the entire balance. Let us take the case that the loan amount is 20 lakh rupees and the value of security available at the sanctioning time, it was 10 lakh rupees. Now the loan is what? Loan is a secured amount. Loan is a secured loan. And further, let us take the case that the outstanding balance is still 20 lakh rupees. Outstanding balance is still 20 lakh rupees and the account is classified to be as a non-performing asset, substandard asset. In that case, the provision would be applicable at 15% and it will be calculated on the full loan amount. It will be calculated on the whole loan amount, that is at 15% it will be calculated. So option C over here is incorrect. So option C over here is incorrect. So option C will be our answer. Option C over here will be our answer. Is that clear? Is that clear over here? Question number 3 over here, it says that what is the rate of provision on secured substandard accounts? What is the rate of provision on secured substandard accounts? So kindly please do answer at the earliest. What will be the rate of provision which will be applicable on the secured substandard accounts? Would it be 0.4%, 15%, 20% or 25%? Which of the following would be the right answer? So question number 3, option B, that is 15% is the right answer. 15% is the right answer. So Ravi Nanabala has answered correctly at the earliest. So option B is the right answer in this particular case. Further, outstanding balance in substandard account is 20 lakh rupees. Outstanding balance in a substandard account is 20 lakh rupees. Value of security is 16 lakh rupees. What is the amount of provision? What is the amount of provision? Rupees 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh or 3.40 lakhs? What would be the right answer in this particular case? Kindly please do answer at the earliest. We are having outstanding balance equal to 20 lakh rupees. It is equal to 20 lakh rupees and further the value of security is 16 lakh rupees. So it will be secured asset. Why it is so? If the value of security is greater than 10%, in that case it is a secured loan. Now if it is secured loan, in that case it is said to be as classified as substandard asset. So what provision percentage would be applicable? 15% of the provision percentage will be applicable. So the provision that is to be maintained is rupees 3 lakh in this particular case. The provision is to be maintained at rupees 3 lakh. So what would be the right answer? Option A over here will be the right answer. So Rajiv Kumar has answered at the earliest related to question number 4 over here, that is 3 lakh rupees. That is 3 lakh rupees. So answer is option A over here. Answer is option A over here. Now let's move to the next question, which says outstanding balance in a substandard account is rupees 20 lakh. Value of security is 2 lakh rupees since date of sanction. What is the amount of provision? We need to calculate the amount of provision. The outstanding balance is given to be 20 lakh rupees. Value of security is 2 lakh from the date of sanction. What is the amount of provision in that particular case? Now first of all, we need to identify that if the loan is secured loan or unsecured loan. In this particular case, we are having the amount of value of security of amounting up to rupees 2 lakh, up to of rupees 2 lakh, which is basically 10% of the outstanding amount. So it is what basically it is unsecured loan account. It is unsecured loan, and what would be the provision percentage applicable? 25% of the provision would be applicable, as it is not infrastructure loan mentioned. So option of C over here will be the right answer. So Kailash Komane has answered at the earliest that option C, that is 5 lakh rupees, is the right answer in this particular case. Option C over here is the right answer. Question number 6, it says the rate of provision on doubtful loans is stated correctly in which of the following cases? The rate of provision on doubtful loans is stated correctly in which of the following cases? DF1 of unsecured portion 100% and further secured portion 20%. DF2 unsecured portion 100%, secured portion 40%. DF3 unsecured portion 100% and secured portion 75%. Which of the following would be the right answer in this particular case? Question number 6, which one would be the right answer? So under the DF1, the provision which is applicable, it is what? It is 25% for the secured part and 100% it is uniformly for the unsecured part, whether it is DF1, DF2, DF3. Okay, and for the DF2, for the secured part it is 40% and for the unsecured part it is again 100%, and under DF3 it is uniformly 100%, whether it is secured or unsecured, it is 100%. Okay, now as per the statements over here, option B is the right answer. Option B is the right answer in this particular case. So Cricket Live has answered correctly in this particular question. Cricket Live has answered correctly in this particular question. So option B is the right answer here. So option B is the right answer here. Is that clear? Next question says, to calculate the secured balance in case of doubtful accounts. To calculate the secured balance in case of doubtful accounts, the following security is not to be taken. The following security is not to be taken. Whensoever we calculate the secured balance account in the case of the doubtful accounts, what of the security is not to be taken? Primary security, collateral security, guarantee from CGT, MSC, DICGC, ECGC or government, or option D, that is personal guarantee of third parties or the promoters. Which of the following is not to be considered? Which of the following is not to be considered? Question number 7. So which one of the following is the right answer? See, whensoever we calculate the secured balances, the primary security is to be taken, the collateral security is taken, and also if guarantee is available from CGT, MSC, DICGC, ECGC or by government, this is also to be taken. Option D, that is related to personal guarantee, is not basically taken. So if the personal guarantee is there by third party or by the promoters, it is not accountable. It is not accountable. So option D over here is the right answer. So Bharani Vasuki has given the right answer over here. Bharani Vasuki has given the right answer over here. So option D in this case is the right answer. Option D is the right answer in this particular case. Next question, it says, a doubtful up to 1 year has a balance of 20 lakh rupees. The value of security is 16 lakh rupees. What is the amount of provision? So doubtful up to 1 year is having a balance of rupees 20 lakh rupees and the security value is 16 lakh rupees. What is the amount of provision in this particular case? So we are having the doubtful up to 1 year. It means it basically belongs to doubtful 1 category. So in case of doubtful 1 category, for the secured portion 15%, for the 25% of the provision is applicable, and for the unsecured portion 100% of the provision is applicable. Now over here, out of outstanding balance of 20 lakh rupees, we are having 16 lakh rupees secured part, and for the 4 lakh rupees for which security is not available, that is shortfall of the security is of 4 lakh rupees, for which it is unsecured part and 100% of the provision is to be maintained, and for 16 lakh rupees 25% of the provision is to be maintained. 25% of the 16 lakh is equal to 4 lakh rupees, and for the 4 lakh 100% is equal to 4 lakh again. So total provision that is to be maintained is 8 lakh rupees. It is 8 lakh rupees. So question number 8, option C will be the right answer. Question number 8, option C. Anita Prajapati has answered the question at the earliest. So option C over here is the right answer under question 8. Is that clear?